stop. Whatever you were doing right now, stop. Because this message was not placed in front of you by accident. This video, these words, this exact moment, it was arranged. Long before you clicked play, something greater than coincidence was already at work. You were guided here. You were called here. And whether your mind is ready to accept that or not, your soul already knows it is true. I need you to listen, not just with your ears, but with that deep, quiet place inside of you that has been waiting for someone to finally say what you have been feeling all along. Because there is something about you that is different. There always has been. You have always sensed it in the way you feel things more deeply than others, in the way ordinary conversations leave you feeling empty, in the way you lie awake at night carrying questions that most people never even think to ask. That feeling is not a flaw. That feeling is a signal. It has always been a signal. You were never ordinary. Not for a single day of your life, even when the world treated you as though you were invisible. Even when people walked past you without understanding what they were walking past, you were carrying something rare, something that cannot be manufactured, something that was placed inside of you before you took your first breath. And today, right now, in this moment, the truth of what you carry is being spoken over your life. You may have been overlooked. You may have stood in rooms full of people and still felt completely alone, wondering why you couldn't simply fit in the way everyone else seemed to. You may have questioned yourself, your worth, your purpose, your place in this world. You may have even questioned whether any of this means anything at all. I see that. I know that weight. And I want you to hear this clearly. Nothing you went through was a mistake. Not the loneliness, not the confusion, not the heartbreak. Not a single moment of it was wasted. Every single thing was shaping you. Every single thing was building the very strength you are only now beginning to understand. Type 111 in the comments if you feel this message was meant for you. Because here is what no one told you. The chosen ones are rarely the loudest people in the room. They are rarely the ones with the most confidence, the most followers, the most visible success. The chosen ones are often the quiet ones, the ones who have been through the fire and somehow came out the other side, still standing, still breathing, still reaching for something they cannot even fully name yet. That is you. That has always been you. And this is only the beginning of you understanding just how powerful that truly is. I want to take you somewhere. I want you to travel back in your mind, back to the hardest season of your life. Maybe it was a moment of complete collapse. Maybe it was a relationship that broke you in ways you didn't know were possible. Maybe it was a loss so heavy that for a while you didn't know how you would carry it forward. Maybe it was a version of yourself that you are not even proud of. A time when you made choices you wish you could undo. When you wandered so far from who you thought you were that you couldn't find your way back. I want you to go back to that moment. And I want you to see something you may have missed. You survived it. Not just barely. Not just technically. You walked through something that was designed to destroy you. And here you are, breathing, present. Listening to these words, do you understand what that means? Do you truly understand the magnitude of what it means that you are still here? Most people would minimize that. Most people would say, "It wasn't that special, I just kept going." But I am telling you, the fact that you kept going when everything in your circumstances told you to stop, that is not ordinary resilience. That is something far deeper. That is a spirit that does not know how to quit because it was never built to quit. It was built for endurance. It was built for breakthrough. It was built for something that requires exactly the kind of strength that only suffering can produce. There is a reason you were not handed the easy life, not because you were forgotten, but because you were being formed. A diamond is not created in comfort. It is created under pressure that would crush anything less. And you, beloved soul, have been under a pressure that should have crushed you, and it didn't. because you are not made of ordinary material. The same force that holds the stars in place, the same intelligence that turns a seed into a forest, the same invisible hand that moves the oceans, that force has been inside of you this whole time, working in you, refining you, preparing you. Type yes in the comments if you believe your pain had a purpose. Think about how many nights you prayed for relief that didn't come as quickly as you needed it to. Think about how many times you were ready to walk away from the very path that was leading you towards something extraordinary. And yet, something kept you. Something held you back from the edge. Something whispered to you in the silence when everything else was screaming. That whisper was not your imagination. That whisper was guidance. That was protection. That was a power greater than any circumstance, any failure, any fear. Reminding you that your story was not over, reminding you that you had not yet become everything you were as, and here to be. And you listened, even when you didn't realize you were listening. You listened. That quiet obedience, that stubborn hope, that refusing to let go even when you had every reason to. That was your spirit doing what it was made to do, persisting. Because your spirit knows something your mind has not yet fully accepted. Your spirit knows that you were made for more than this, for far, far more than this. Let me speak to you about something that may be difficult to hear, but that you need to receive. There are people in your life who have not seen you clearly. There are people who have spoken small over you, people who have doubted you, dismissed you, underestimated you. And perhaps some of them were people whose opinion mattered deeply to you. Perhaps some of them were people who were supposed to protect you, celebrate you, believe in you, and they didn't. And that wound, the wound of being unseen by someone whose eyes you needed, is one of the deepest wounds a person can carry. I am not dismissing that pain. I am not asking you to pretend it didn't happen or that it didn't leave marks, but I am asking you, with all the gentleness and authority I can offer, to consider this. Their inability to see you was never a reflection of your worth. It was a reflection of their limitation. You cannot show someone a color they were not given eyes to see. And the fullness of what you carry, the depth of your gifts, the magnitude of your purpose, the beauty of your spirit, some people simply do not have the capacity to recognize it. That is not your failure. That is not your curse. That is simply the reality that extraordinary things are rarely understood in ordinary seasons. And more than that, every person who failed to see you, every door that was closed in your face, every opportunity that slipped away, every relationship that ended before you won, tedded to, all of it was divine redirection. All of it was protection disguised as rejection. Because the path you were on with those people, in those places, pursuing those things, that path was not the one that leads to your highest calling. The detours were not punishments. They were recalculations. They were the universe, God, pulling you back from roads that would have taken you further from yourself, and setting your feet back on the only road that was ever truly yours. Type 777 in the comments to claim this truth for your life. I need you to let it settle into the deep parts of you that have been storing hurt for a long time. You were not rejected. You were redirected. You were not abandoned. You were repositioned. You were not too much. You were simply in the wrong room. And the right room, the room that was designed with your name already spoken into its walls, that room is still ahead of you. It has always been ahead of you. And every step you have taken, even the steps that felt like stumbling, even the steps that led you somewhere painful, every single one of them has been bringing you closer to that room, closer to the life that was written for you before you even arrived in this world. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not broken beyond use. You are right on time, the time that was set for you, not the timeline that comparison and fear have been trying to force onto your life. Let go of the timeline. Trust the path. because the path knows exactly where it is going, even when you cannot see the road ahead. There is something happening inside of you right now. Something is awakening. Something that has been quiet for a long time, perhaps buried under years of disappointment, buried under the noise of the world telling you who to be, buried under your own doubts and your own fears, is beginning to stir. Can you feel it? That warmth in your chest, that sense of something expanding, that quiet but undeniable knowing that these words are not just words. They are true. They are true about you. They are true right now, in this moment, in this season of your life. That awakening is not random. It is not coincidental. It is intentional. Something greater than you has been waiting for the right moment to pull back the curtain and show you what has been true all along. And this is that moment. This is your moment of seeing. Not a moment of arriving somewhere new, but a moment of recognizing where you have always been standing. You have always been standing on holy ground. You have always been held by something larger than yourself. You have always been seen, known, and chosen. You just haven't been able to see it clearly until now. But if you feel something shifting inside of you right now, not the gifts the world has certified or validated, not the ones that came with recognition or applause. I am talking about the gifts that live in the quiet, the way you see things others miss, the way you feel the weight of a room when you walk into it, the way you know things before they are explained to you, the way your presence changes the atmosphere around you, even when you are not trying. Those are not accidents. Those are not coincidences. Those are assignments. Those are the specific tools you were given for the specific work only you can do in this world. Because here is the truth about the chosen. You are not chosen for your own sake alone. You are chosen because someone, somewhere, perhaps many people, perhaps more than you can imagine, needs exactly what only you can offer. The healing you have walked through, you carry it as medicine for someone else. The strength you developed in your loneliest seasons, you carry it as a torch for someone who is still walking in the dark. The wisdom you earn through your suffering, you carry it as a map for someone who is lost in the same wilderness you once survived. Your story is not just yours. Your story was always meant to be shared. Your life was always meant to light something up in someone else. And the greater the depth of what you have been through, the greater the light you now carry. Let me speak now about what is ahead of you, because there is something ahead of you that your current mind cannot fully contain. There is a version of your life, a chapter that has not yet been written, a season that has not yet arrived, that is beyond what fear has been allowing you to imagine. And I need you to hear this with every part of you. What is coming is greater than what you have been through. Let that sink in. What is coming, the restoration, the breakthrough, the abundance, the connections, the purpose walking fully alive through your life, is greater in magnitude than every loss, every wound, every wasted year you have mourned. Nothing is lost forever for the chosen one. What was taken is being repaid. What was delayed is being accelerated. What was stolen is being restored with interest. Not because the universe owes you something simply for breathing, but because the suffering was part of a covenant, because you stayed faithful even when you had every reason to let go, because you kept your heart soft when bitterness would have been the easier choice, because you kept reaching for something higher when gravity was pulling everything in you down. That faithfulness is being honored. That endurance is being rewarded, and the reward is not small. It was never meant to be small. Type 444 in the comments if you believe your breakthrough is coming. I want you to begin, starting today, starting in this moment, to hold yourself differently. I want you to carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are not wandering through this life by accident. I want you to stop apologizing for the depth of who you are. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant to hold you. Stop waiting for external permission to step into the fullness of your calling. The permission was given before you were born. The calling was placed inside of you like a seed that has been waiting for this exact season to break open. You are not too sensitive. You are precisely calibrated. You are not too different. You are specifically designed. You are not too much. You are exactly enough for everything you were made to do. And the world does not need you to be less. The world does not need you to be quieter, smaller, more palatable, more convenient. The world needs you to be fully, completely, unapologetically yourself. Because the version of you that walks in full alignment with your purpose is one of the most powerful forces this world has ever encountered. And that force is waking up right now. We are coming to the place in this message where something must be named. Something that has been sitting between you and the fullness of your destiny. Something you have been carrying that was never yours to carry. And that something is the belief, the old, deep, persistent belief that you are not enough, that something is fundamentally wrong with you, that the difficulties of your life are evidence of your failure, rather than proof of your formation. That belief has been alive from the moment it was first whispered into your consciousness, and today I am asking you to put it down. You do not have to carry it anymore. You were never meant to carry it. That belief was placed on you by people who were themselves carrying wounds they never healed. It was handed to you by a world that profits from keeping you small. It was reinforced every time a circumstance didn't go the way you expected, and your wounded mind pointed to yourself as the explanation. But the truth, the real, unshakable truth, is that you are deeply, completely, eternally enough. You always have been. Nothing you could ever do or fail to do could change your fundamental worth. That worth was established before you arrived. It is not conditional. It does not fluctuate with your performance. It is fixed. It is permanent. It is written. When the old voice rises up to tell you that you are falling behind, that you are too broken, that it is too late, I want you to speak back. Speak the truth, louder than the lie. Say it out loud if you have to. Say, I am chosen. Say, I am held. Say, what is ahead of me is greater than what is behind me. Say, my spirit is stronger than any circumstance I face. Say these things not because you always feel them, but because they are true whether you feel them or not. Truth does not require your emotion to be real. It only requires your agreement to be activated. Type 222 if you are choosing to agree with the truth about who you are, starting right now. Not the easy season, not the comfortable season. This one, the hard one. The one that has been asking more of you than you thought you had. You were built precisely for this, because the world needs what this season is produce. NG in you, the patience, the wisdom, the compassion, the unbreakable faith, all of it is being forged for a purpose that extends far beyond your personal comfort. And when you step into that purpose, when you finally walk in full alignment with who you were made to be, everything that happened to you will make sense. Not in a way that erases the pain, but in a way that transforms it into meaning. And meaning is the most powerful thing a human being can carry. And so we arrive here, at the place where this message becomes a covenant between what you have been and what you are becoming. At the threshold between the version of you who has been surviving and the version of you who is about to begin truly living. And I want you to step across that threshold fully. Not tentatively, not with one foot still anchored in the old story of who the world said you were, but completely, with both feet. With every part of you surrendered to the truth that has been waiting for you since before you took your first breath. You are a chosen one, not because you are perfect, not because you have it all together, not because your path has been clean or your heart has been without damage. You are chosen precisely because of everything you have carried, everything you have survived, everything you have lost and grieved and rebuilt. The very things you thought disqualified you are the exact things that prepared you. The very wounds you thought made you too broken to be used are the very wounds that give you access to the hearts of others who are broken in the same places. Your cracks are not flaws, they are where the light enters. And more than that, they are where the light shines out. I have been guiding your steps even in the moments when the path felt completely dark and directionless. I have been holding the vision of your life, even in the seasons when you could not hold it yourself. And I am telling you now, with all the weight and authority that comes from beyond this world, the investment in you was not made in vain. The protection over your life was not wasted. The gifts inside of you were not placed there to lie dormant forever. This is the season of activation. This is the season of emergence. This is the season where what was hidden in you begins to become visible to the world. Go forward knowing that the same power that raised mountains and scattered stars is walking with you into every room, every conversation, every challenge, every new beginning. Go forward knowing that rejection cannot stop you, delay cannot define you, and fear has no authority over a spirit that has been consecrated for purpose. Go forward knowing that you are loved, not with a conditional, fragile human love, but with a love that is vast and ancient and completely unshakable. A love that has never once wavered. A love that will not waver now, and children more. You are the chosen one. You always have been, and today, right now in this moment, you are finally beginning to know it. Type 999 to seal this truth over your life. Type it and receive every word that was spoken over you today. Because this message was always yours. It was written for you. It was sent to you. And now that you have received it, nothing will ever be quite the same again.